I got to go live on Mixler, and starting on Mixler. Mixler is running. So, hi everybody. This is, oops, better not hit that wrong button. This is Survivor Circle for July. Better not hit that wrong button. Now I got to turn that off. Survivor Circle. That's working. And that's probably working too. Will be very soon. Good. What a mess. I've got to find a smoother way to do this. Anyway, today is, now I can't get any, now I've got nothing. Okay, let's fix that. At least I know how to fix all the things I screw up when I get started. How are we doing now? Can I hear me? I can't hear me. Yeah, I can.
You've not fixed it all.
Now I can
now.
Fix all the things I screw up when I get started. How are we doing now? Can I hear me? Now I can hear you.
Yeah. You've not fixed it all because I can't.
How are we doing now? Do you have feedback? Double feed somewhere?
I'm hearing some feedback.
Yeah. Close.
My YT is muted, so it's not that.
Do you have feedback? Double feed somewhere? I'm hearing some feedback. Yeah. Kill that. Bring this back up. And can you hear me now? Say something, please.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Okay. Sorry, hit the wrong window. Anyway, welcome, folks. This is Survivor Circle for Tuesday, July 12th, the year 2022. Our topic for today is going to be the Georgia Guidestones, their background, their story, and their ultimate fate of that monument. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago that the Guidestones made the news, and as someone had snuck in the middle of the night and placed some explosives on one of the slabs and just blew it to bits. No one knows why. No one's claiming why they did it or how they did it or whatever. They do have some nice surveillance video of the person placing the explosives and their automobile. So, oh well. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is on the job. So we'll see what happens. Standing on a rural Georgia hilltop near Elberton, Georgia, there were five slabs of granite. It was contracted by a mysterious group in 1979, and it was attacked with explosives about a week ago. It consisted of 5 giant granite slabs with writing on them. No group or individual has ever chosen to claim having designed or financed them. As far as I can tell, the purpose, it was made to act as a Rosetta Stone between the different languages. It had 8 different languages that were, the same inscription was written in 8 different languages on the stones. The stones had an astronomical alignment with the North Star through one of the holes. It had a solar window in the central pillar of the structure that would delineate the seasons and follow the path of the sunset through the year. R.C. Christian was the pseudonym of the contact man who arranged the building. He claimed that its purpose was to guide the survivors of a future catastrophe in rebuilding human culture. The builders advised that the ragged remnant of humanity that should maintain population at 500 million. Perhaps that was a good number for the survivors to hope to reach for after a nuclear war, about where the population was in 1700. The rest of their suggestions were there. The rest of their suggestions were to keep it from happening again. Let's see, that's a repeat of that. Let's go with that. Let's go to the writing on the stones. There were 10 lines of writing on the stones. The first and probably the most controversial was maintain humanity at under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That one seemed to create a great deal of concern, since the population at that time was nearly 7 billion and now it's over 8.5, or maybe might have been 6 billion in 1980. Now it's 8.5. And some of the groups chose to think that that meant that, oh, we'd have to get rid of some 8 billion of us. I don't really read that in it, given that it's one of its few stated intents was to guide a remnant of survivors to help rebuild a functional society. It is according to some sources that somewhere back in the early part of the last century, there were some population studies that were made, and they thought that keeping that was the largest truly sustainable population that the earth could hold. I'm pretty sure they were wrong. A lot of those things that were done then in those kinds of studies were just wrong. And so I think that's where they got that number. But I suppose that really always, for some reason, that first line seemed to, everyone would read that and stop there. You know, they didn't have any, and it doesn't really tell us a lot about who created the stones. The second line, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. That one is leaves many questions. How do you guide reproduction? We are not a species that certainly wants to do that, or never, or ever has. And wisely, we may be Homo sapiens, but our functional wisdom is currently in question. Unite humanity with a living new language. That's an interesting, I remember they used to have and now I just forgot the word. There was an artificial language that was suggested as a new international language. It never went anywhere, but whatever. Fourth line, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I don't see too much of that going on right now. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. That's certainly something that we need to be reminded of now. let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. I think that is probably, well, I'll get back to this, I think. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. I think we'll find that probably almost unanimous consent that that is a good thing. Balance personal rights with social duties. Okay. Prize truth, beauty, and love, seeking harmony with the infinite. A little new age, but I can accept that one. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. It is, and from this, we're supposed to try to go backward now and figure out who built this thing and what was their real intention. You know, what did they want to create with it? Was it just an expensive piece of yard art, or did it have a true larger meaning? The languages used for the the languages put on the tablets were English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. In the alphabets and a shorter title, let these be guidestones to an age of reason, were also written in Babylonian, in cuneiform, Mesopotamian, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and ancient Egyptian. So there was more than one. So it was a really, in a lot of ways, it was a big Rosetta Stone, like the one that was found in England that finally, not in England, Egypt, that finally gave us the code-breaking skill to understand, to some extent, the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt, which up to that time had been entirely mysterious. Okay. So someone, and there was so much on the news about that was built by Satanists. It was built by New World Order people. It was built by, you choose it. And it was, I'm sure it was rumored. But I did find one particular YouTube documentary done in about 2005, maybe 2006, that spoke about, the name of it is Dark Clouds Over Elberton, the story of the Georgia Guidestones. And I will put that in the copy. I will put that in the chat if I can. Bingo. I would suggest watching this documentary. It was a very long, probably almost 2 hours, and it really did some great work on the background, and it may have solved the mystery of the people who designed and contracted the Guidestones. It's really quite good. The one thing, if I go back taking their best suspects and trying to fit these those 10 sayings into their, try to use that to look at where they came, to use that to determine where they came from. One of the things I see is it was suggested that the people who did this were 2 World War II veterans. One was a doctor, one was an architect, I believe. And in the Cold War era, after World War II, it was pretty prevalent, and there were a lot of really dark days. The days, some of us remember the hiding under the desks, and I don't know whatever good that would have done to make us safe from a nuclear explosion if we're nearby. But hey, anything is better than nothing, I guess.
Well, that's when you're on an airplane and they tell you to bend over and do this. It's so when you hit, you break your neck instantly, and they don't have to they could just settle one amount, not your medical bills for the rest of your life.
Yes, that would be about the way of it, I'm afraid.
Yep.
But and the let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. That sounds to me like something that a couple of doctors who had spent World War II treating wounded might have said. I think at the end of World War II, there were a lot of men that had enough of wars and battles. The be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature. It's interesting that that's repeated, and it would suggest that the person or persons writing this might be conservationists, which the final suspects are. Whoever, I'm saddened that this was destroyed. I really am, because it was a monument to an era, certainly a monument to the Cold War, and that's a part of our history. I don't like seeing any history erased from the face of the earth. My first impression when I saw that was, okay, there goes a piece of yard art is gone. Okay, because it was like a Rorschach test. No matter who saw it, no matter what the message they took away was so often the message that they brought with them, and I think that is as much a commentary on the state of humanity as it is what the intent of the writers was. So
didn't we have a tiny little message back and forth about they figured out that they couldn't get any revenue off of this, so therefore it be gone?
Yes, we did. I thought the idea of putting up a what was it? A dollar store, Dollar General.
Yeah, that was the thing I sent you. Dollar General coming soon.
Probably. Well, when they were done building it, when they finished building it, they deeded the property to the county. Now, the intent there, according to what I found out, was that there are two points there. By deeding it to the county, you don't have to pay land taxes on it. by deeding it to the county, then it's their problem. It's their baby. They have to take care of it. Also, so they did not want to keep a expense of maintaining it, of cleaning it up, of being security, whatever else was there. They just turned it over to they gave it as a $500,000 gift to the county. So yeah, yes, Yuffie, it did. Let me paste that one up there. That was a good one. It is very similar. It is. It's the same. When they find a suspect or suspects, that will be more evident. But the fundamentalists who called it the work of Satan and such forth are very similar to the fundamentalist Taliban. So, yes, indeed. Okay. All right. Oh, God. I expect them to be available on Amazon any day now. I don't think $9.95 is enough. I think they should actually probably in polystyrene. $9.95 would be good, but I think they should have a deluxe version that's like $100 in small bits of marble, at least. Yes, would be good. So, yeah, I thought it would. I thought it was going to be. I thought I don't know. I didn't really expect this. I didn't think people cared that much, but apparently someone did, and I hope they are caught and properly prosecuted for doing it. It doesn't matter. It's never going to be rebuilt. I won't say never, but it probably will never be rebuilt. There are certainly no plans. And after the explosion, although let's see, 4 out of the 5 pillars were left standing, but they were, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, they were too dangerous to leave them standing. So actually that afternoon, after it was discovered from the explosion at 4 a.m., it was summarily destroyed and knocked to the ground.
Okay, I found it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, you may have to add it in. I don't think it's gonna. Oh, because this is not. Never mind.
Okay. What you got?
Well, because I'm not on here like I usually am.
Yes.
I can't do it.
Do you have a link, or is it something?
I'll have to send it to you through Messenger.
Okay.
I guess. Jesus, Charles, if we could just get this shit running like it normally is. Messenger or Skype? Which one's easier for you?
Skype is up right now.
Okay. I can do that. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, there's some dead air. So we're going to go with that.
Do.
All right. I just sent it to you.
Okay.
But that was one of the first things I thought about when I heard about them being one side of it was exploded or had.
Oh, duh. You did say Skype, didn't you? I'm standing here waiting for something to come in. And
But this was my first thought whenever it happened. It's kind of perfect.
Where's the kaboom?
how am I going to do? Okay.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
That's good enough. Because you would have to download it and then share a screen. But anyway.
I can share screen. I just have to be ready to do that.
But anyways, everybody heard that, and I'm sure they got
that. Oh, okay. I did see that. That popped up as when you shared it, it popped up as another guest, and I didn't understand what to do with it.
Oh, gotcha. Now you know.
Yes.
Yeah, now we know.
We're going to do it the old-fashioned way that I know how to do.
All right. Well, here, let me do it then. I'll throw it up there.
Okay, it's up. It's coming up. I think share screen. There it comes.
I think you kind of have to do it. Oh, why's my cat's picture? Oh, here we go.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
That's like my fave.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah, that's my little deaf girl.
Yep. You just have all these little what did they call those things? Beanbag. You guys got beanbag cats that you just hang over the railings.
It's funny. She'll get on one side and another cat will get on the other side, and then they like fight each other around the post.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's entertaining for about 5 seconds, and then it's over. So
a smile is a smile is a smile.
Yes.
So, yeah. It's just like I said. I'm kind of sad that it's gone, but I guess its time was over. It would be nice to think that the period of time where we have to worry about getting blown up is over. I don't think it is quite yet. There are still far more nuclear warheads out there than would be required to.
I'm not even worried about nukes.
No.
Screw a bunch of nukes. I'm just not even.
We have had almost half a dozen, four that I can come up with right on hand, situations where we were within a hair's breadth of meeting their expectations and destroying a big chunk of the earth with nuclear weapons. And all 3 times rational people said, nah, that doesn't fit. That can't be right.
Well, I think it's funny. Everybody, Steve and Peter were talking last night, and he kept talking about nuclear warheads, the war, it's supposed to be coming up and stuff, and aliens and all this. Steve was bouncing off the walls last night. It was hard for me to keep up with what.
Yes. Absolutely.
He was tore up like a can of kraut. But, and I was also, I was like, the aliens didn't stop us from dropping those nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and
Nagasaki, and
they didn't stop us. They've not stopped our testing.
A 200 test blast.
They never stopped that.
Yeah.
So why are people even bringing this up? I mean, I know that they've been seen above missile sites, and they've either turned everything on or they've shut everything down.
Our only hope is the return of the gods from the sky are going to come down and save us. We're in deep doo-doo. Okay.
They don't care. We're experiments to them.
Yep.
They're not going to save us. They're not going to destroy us. They're
Well,
going to watch us
No,
just
if they're
on.
watching, and I basically think they are.
Oh, yeah, they're watching.
They're just waiting to see whether we go into column A or column B. That's pretty much it, you know. And, you know.
But yeah, I mean, the aliens don't care, and it just blows my mind that people think they do.
Well, maybe I hope that. I hope they do. I hope that that faction of the UFO community is right, but I'm not going to bet on it. You know,
I mean, they've not wiped us out yet.
We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to save ourselves.
I think they're just kind of sitting up there watching us, and they're just like, I wonder if this one will do that, and the other one's like going, here, hold my beer, because this is what's going to happen.
Oh, betting people, are you? Are you thinking there might be betting people?
They might be.
I'd like to see the odds on those. I could, you know, I'd probably throw a few dollars that way, but then again, they probably aren't accepting dollars. So I like to think something else.
Yeah, I don't think they have the G strings to hold those.
I'll have to think it's something that they value and of interest, and those I don't know what those would be. Probably be something that they could be delivered in a test tube. Oh, God.
Yeah, they are pretty kinky. But anyway.
Yes, the kinky parts.
I don't know. Ron, you are the square peg. It's what Eufy says. And they want you to share Venus's email. Is what Ron does, but it's like it's none of your business. That was sent to Charles, you know. But no, it was a good subject. But it was just this happened. So it just this week it took preference.
Yes. See, I guess these things go in cycles, sort of, you know. I mean, the paranoia ramps up and then it naturally just subsides a little bit because how we are incapable of maintaining the level of fear that they appear to be trying. Oh my God, we're going to starve. Oh my God, the Chinese are going to kill us. Oh no, it's the Russians. Oh no, it's the aliens. Oh no, it's the Earth's going to turn into a cinder the next time we have a sunspot. Yes, I understand. Look, but however much they keep piling on, it really does. We're going to get used to it. Okay, and the panic subsides, and then they come up with something new, you know, or something.
But see, I mean, we get desensitized to that shit. But you've got another generation that's coming out of high school, going into college, and you know the sky's falling, and so they get them whipped up into something, and the rest of us are like, stop, and then they're looking at us like you're old and stupid, and we're looking at them like you're young and dumb.
We're old and stupid because we've seen the same play over and over and over and over again. And you say, oh yeah, one of those.
But you know, okay, so they learn all this stupid shit in college.
Even if the things that are real threats, okay, the fact that it's 115 degrees today in Austin, okay, West Texas. Those are some things. The fact that the Great Salt Lake is going dry, the fact that Lake Mead has no water in it those are things that might be cause for concern. Okay, but those are just pushed aside. Just pushed aside. It's of no consequence. Worry about the Russians. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, it's because they can't. Number one, the reason this Lake Mead's going dry,
Yeah,
has to do with the humans that have fucked with that for so long, and not done anything to look forward. Or I mean, they've done that with the power. I mean, come on, look at all the stuff that they're doing.
Yes,
It's
and not
it's all exactly.
Yes.
So it's that concern is their fault because they've monkeyed around with nature and they shouldn't have. Number one.
Yes.
They're good at that, but then they want to blame it on global warming. Well, I'm sorry. Weather has a pattern. And right now we're kind of in a 2012 weather pattern.
We are at the mercy of the earth at this time. We are not. We don't have control of the thermostat. Maybe someday we will. God help me. I don't think we're ready for that.
Well, everything that they want to do is not going to do anything but fuck up the earth even more than what it is.
If someone gave me control of a giant solar shade to cool the earth and heat the earth, whatever, okay, to stabilize things, I am sure I would make a bigger mess of it than it is. Absolutely.
It's like, it's just dumb. Yeah. But people buy into this, and the media is like, oh, let's scare the shit out of them today with this story. And then you've got parents that are too stupid to know the difference, and they start teaching this stuff to their kids and in schools. I don't understand it. I really don't. It's common sense. We here in Kentucky, we haven't had a really hot summer for a while. I mean, like, it's been 10 years. I mean, every once in a while you'll get a heat advisory or something like that, but it's not been anything to where it's been spread out for months or days. We have droughts. I mean, we've had a drought this last month.
We had a drought here in, I think it was 92. I'm not 100% sure, but one of those years in that era, okay, where it was scary dry here. Okay, I mean,
we had the same thing.
All the lawns turned brown, and the trees lost most of their leaves, and I was thinking, and we're fairly forested here, okay, and at that time with all the tender dry underbrush, I kept thinking, oh my God, if this should happen, it could get really, really bad in a hurry. Just like it is California, like California the last few years have been getting it, but fortunately it ended. I guess that's what we have to hope for. We aren't responsible enough. We as humankind, I see no evidence that we are responsible enough to have control of the climate. If it were something that I could, they could pass a bill and start building tomorrow, I would not be in favor of it, I don't think. So,
I'm muted, Oofy, that's why.
Aha. So one of these days, you'll never find a dry tree in the park.
No, 2005, we had a bad drought here. It went on for 3 months, but then it rained, and we've not had that again. We went a month this year without rain.
Yeah.
but then we've had our showers. Now we're still behind in rain, but it's like every winter, spring, we sit here and we go, is it ever gonna quit raining?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
true.
then when it does, people are like, oh no, global warming. We're going to have a drought.
Yeah. You know, we can, I mean, there's plenty of evidence that we collectively have had some effect on the climate of the earth over the last, probably really the last 200 years. And it's cold. A lot of it is cold. You know, if you look at pictures of even in the United States, in say New York, or I remember somebody colorized some pictures from San Francisco or something early in the 1900s, where those places were dingy from the soot because everyone used coal to heat their homes, and coal was and not just coal, not just that it's coal. It was that coal that was being burned openly and incompletely. And well, I used a coal furnace many years ago, and it's a pain in the ass, and it is dirty, and you get filthy messing with it. But that was all that was available 200 years ago. And once that became economically viable, everybody wanted it because it was because it gets cold sometimes. You know?
Coal is warm when it burns.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I do miss is my wood burning stove that I had.
Yeah.
Man, you talk it was dirty.
You actually got rid of it? Or you had
Kind of didn't have a choice.
Oh, okay.
Somebody thought I was stupid when I said the stovepipe needed to be cleaned out. And they're like, oh, no, all I got to do is just beat on the side of it, just like the guy that used to own this house did, and it would break all that way. And then there was one night laying there sleeping, and it was all warm and snug, and somebody kept getting up out of bed and going outside. Come back in. Go back inside. I was like, what are you doing? Well, the stovepipe's on fire, and I'm trying to make sure that, and I was like,
it's a house on fire.
So I'm the dumb one.
Yes.
So anyways, yes, it burned up and it damn near took the house with it, but I'm the one that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Stuff you can't mess around with.
My own experience with that is really quite similar. I overstoked a coal furnace one time when I was it was a learning process. And it nearly, I went down, I said, oh man, it's getting a little warmer than it needs to be in here. What did they do? And it was like glow. The furnace was like glowing.
Oh, oops.
I think I put too much in. Close the drafts, open the windows.
Yeah. Well, there was a time, for some reason, the thermostat wasn't hooked up to the wood stove.
Okay.
So hubby would go outside and he would put everything into the wood stove, and we'd come in, go to bed, and about 3:00 in the morning, middle of January, I'm going through the house opening the windows because it's 100. And I'm like, okay, so which way is the wind going? I need to get the cross breeze going.
Yes.
But then he finally hooked up the thermostat, and we didn't have a problem with it after that, other than the fact that I didn't know what I was talking about, a chimney sweep. So
there you go.
It's my fault.
Yep.
I caused that.
People, if you put in a gas log, you don't have that problem, right?
Yeah, but see, then I'd have to have a tank out here, and then I'd have to have, gas, coal, and wood heat are dirty.
like that stuff that they're begging for over in Europe right now. I did hear they finally got the baby bottle factory, the baby food factories working again.
Oh, you know, that's not been in the news lately.
I saw that on the news day before yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Have they started the parades yet? Are they going to have dancing in the streets?
Just all of a sudden, there just wasn't a problem anymore before they even started it back up.
It was something else that was one of those. It wasn't the LPG. It was something about gas. I can't remember what it was. It might. Oh, it was that the chiller plant in Louisiana, where they were ready to send out all the liquefied natural gas on ships to save Europe, caught fire back in June, and they expect it to be back online anytime now. Originally, when it happened, they said it would be back up and running with in a couple of weeks, and it's been more like a couple of months now. So, it's not like anybody needs it. And why should they fix it now when the price is going up? Wait till the price is more than 7 times as much as it was in the spring, and sell it then. Makes perfect sense to me. And what did we do with the clinkers? Actually, I put those in the parking lot where we did that, or not, wasn't the parking lot, but on the parking area. Makes good fill. Clinkers make good fill for once that coal ash sets up, it's like freaking cement. and funny thing, grass doesn't grow through it. Oh God, so much. Yeah, the old day, so much about the old days. I feel kind of special. I'm not that old. I'm only 68 now. But when I was a teenager, I had the opportunity to work a couple of weeks one summer putting up hay with a horse. That was a definitely old school thing. Then it was, and I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. You know, we cut it, put it into windrows, raked it up, and put it in haystacks. And that was that. I think I have the solution now. If you look at those pictures from those old days when they did that kind of thing regularly, all those people are flat out skinny. Because that is some hard work. Yeah. I didn't go back the following year.
Can't say I don't blame you.
Well, I know. I've seen some of your activities and said, "Oh my God, you're going to hurt yourself."
Oh, did I tell you got my chainsaw fixed?
Did you get your Oh wow! You don't have to sharpen the axe so much anymore.
I'm excited.
You can go back to practicing with your throwing axes.
You know, I haven't sharpened my axe in a long time, so I think that's something else. I mean, I need to do that. But yeah, I like my chainsaw much better.
Yes.
Hey, Gings. Ging gets made it in.
Throwing chainsaws just isn't as popular. I don't know why.
It's not. It really isn't. But let's see. We had got my chainsaw. I'm trying to think what other cool stuff I've gotten done here lately, but.
Oh my.
I know people laugh at me because I've got a commercial size diesel mower. I've got this huge leaf blower, and it's a backpack. It's gas powered, and I did ditch my gas powered weed eater and got a battery powered one because I've made it to where that I absolutely am not going to weed eat.
Minimum trim. Minimum
Exactly.
trim necessity. Yes, I'm all for that.
I mean, that's done. So, but yeah, I like my fossil fuel powered equipment.
Well, it's so damn convenient.
Well, it freaking works when the power's out too.
Yes, you got that. That's for
You
sure.
know, it's like everybody's talking about, oh, we need all these battery powered stuff and everything. And when that tornado come through and people didn't have power for a month,
oh, yes.
How are you going to recharge those? It made no sense. Yes. It was just, that was the dumbest thing I had ever heard.
Well, what's the latest on California? They've been having the rolling blackouts in California.
They've been having that for years.
Yes. And one of our friends, Don, from California.
Yeah. Don Ecker. Yeah.
Don Ecker was talking about his, well, he got a new gas generator and it wouldn't work. So he went back to his old gas generator and managed to get it rolling again. But the thing is, what are they going to do when they outlaw home-based petroleum powered generators? And that is something that is quite possible. It's just sad. It's sad. It's sad that these arbitrageurs have gone in and bought these utilities and siphoned money out of them for decades and left the lines unattended and not in any way maintained the infrastructure. And then they say, oh my, it's terrible. We need government money to fix the stuff. Well, you've been sitting there collecting the money, a portion of which was supposed to maintain that infrastructure. And instead you used it to finance stock buybacks and all these other things that, I'm picking on California, but only because they've been the most, and I could pick on Texas. I can pick on Ohio because they had a nuclear plant, a couple of nuclear plants that are no longer. I'm not sure if they ever got online, but the last time I had the courage to read anything about it, the legislatures had pretty much turned over over $6 billion to fix that problem. Yeah, and the scams, the scandals continue. So many, so much, so much.
Oh yeah, it's just wherever the money is, that's where we need to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. I've dragged things down now. Let's get happy again. Let's talk about nice things, butterflies and sunshine and all that good stuff. Let's be grateful that it's a nice, warm, sunny day.
Okay, so here we go. I had to make sure my mic was on.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm already more than halfway. We had this discussion before the show.
Oh, the warning. Yes.
The warning. The warning was I will be drunk before the show's over with. I'm working on it. It's not quite there yet. But anyway. You wake up in a bad mood. You go to work and shit goes downhill from there. And it's like you come home.
The wrong button. There you go.
And you got the alcohol, so it's time to go.
Let's see what Bobby sent us.
No, Bobby, that's freaking hilarious. I love that. Hang on, I gotta let a cat out.
Okay.
But yeah, Bobby sent us axe throwing. So Bobby doesn't make fun of me. He just, I think it amazes him that I know how to run a chainsaw and I'm not scared of it. And I also have an axe or two. I always have an axe to grind somewhere. That's some fun. That knife throwing, I've never been able to throw a knife to where it was accurate.
I used to like them. I got pretty good at it.
I did, but they always missed whoever I was throwing them at. So I just quit.
Well, see, it's harder to hit moving targets. I understand.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay.
Because the knife, when you throw a knife, it doesn't have a heat-seeking missile at the end of it, so you can't really hit your target very well. Do you want me to let you in on a little secret today?
What?
I turned 53 today.
Well, happy birthday, dear.
Thanks. That's why we got a margarita going.
We'll get together and sing happy birthday to Maria.
Do you notice this is a law enforcement official he's throwing this axe at? Do you notice that? He's got a badge on.
The microphone. You keep your arm extended and put only one revolution on the once around on the way. But that's indefinite.
Apparently he can hit what he's aiming at. That was pretty good. Yes. And close. Goodness gracious. My computer is creaking under the load here today. Yeah, that was good. That was funny. That we needed that. The good old days of black and white TV. I didn't even realize Johnny Carson went back that far. Oh my God. You're muted. You're muted. Okay.
My favorite word.
White TV.
Okay. So do you remember when the honeymooners came back on in the late 80s on Nick at Night. They started playing those.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't long after that what was it? The Monkees on MTV. They were playing those reruns.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was everything that was old they tried to bring back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it seemed to work.
Well, I think
For a little while.
I've mentioned on the show before the Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, which was like a hour variety show back in the early to middle 60s, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That I had caught those on like PBS or some oddball station back in the mid 80s, same time period, and videotaped them all. And I was going to share those with somebody that was a little bit younger, and it wasn't funny anymore. So much of it just wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't relevant. Yeah.
But now
what were we talking about?
That one's always funny.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about that one time. It was like even some of the music isn't relative, and they just don't.
Yes, absolutely. But some of it is. Some of it has. I guess the word is classic. Mm-hmm. If it hits it right, if it hits it just right, it is good enough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it keeps coming back. Okay, you can say that there are some tunes and things from the 1920s that are still good music. There are a lot of stuff that doesn't translate to today's psyche, but some of it does, and I think those are the things that, and it's hard to figure out which ones are going to come back and which ones aren't. What was the movie that the singer that came back with a new hit that cleared her like $7 million in royalties because she was chosen as one of the theme song for this year for Stranger Things?
Oh, Kate Bush.
Kate Bush, yes.
And seeing, I loved that song back in the 80s.
Yeah,
loved that song.
So many of those songs. In fact, that was what I liked about that series. The first season when I watched it was the music.
Yeah.
So it takes you back, but it was good music. Selections were pretty fun.
Well, you've got. I mean, there's. There's some. Well, Glenn Miller. There's a lot of his stuff that's still around.
I remember those. Do you remember sing? You're probably too young to have seen Sing Along with Mitch Moore.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't think.
Well, and no, I'm sure you started into the Lawrence Welk period.
I remember Lawrence Welk.
That was made fun of so terrible, but it wasn't that bad. You know, it was different. It wasn't popular music. It was, it was what it was. So
that's right. That's it. Well, and see, it was Lawrence Welk, Dinah Shore. I remember. I don't remember the content of that show, but I do remember her having a show.
There were so many of those variety shows. There's nothing like them now. Ed Sullivan, the Smothered, the Hee-Haw,
Carol Burnett
show.
Have you ever watched some of all of them together talking about that show?
You know, I may have.
It was too funny because, I mean, it's kind of like you can kind of equate that with Saturday Night Live. you're doing a skit and it's live and you're trying not to laugh,
Mhm.
but you had Harvey or Tim or Vicky or one of them doing some kind of outrageous stuff.
Mhm.
And to try to keep from laughing during that was
Oh God,
had to be.
they were wonderful, you know.
Mhm.
And the screw ups were as hilarious as the comedy bit, or more than the comedy bit would have been.
Because they were probably better
Well, a lot of,
than what was written in the first
and
place.
some of that stuff was ad libbed, just off the cuff. They were
Mhm.
freaking geniuses at that.
Yeah, I think it's so funny, the stuff that we forget about, and it's like there's times that I'll hear, I've got that XM satellite radio
Mhm.
or Sirius XM, and I'll flip through the channels and I'll hear a song. I was like, my God, I forgot about that.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that song.
Mhm.
And that just kind of happens. It's not really old age. It's just you've been alive for so long.
I'm going to speak up for ERT Radio and the music with a theme on Fridays.
Oh, Amanda's amazing.
And her selections are always point on. And
Well, I think Johnny has a lot to do with that too. You got to give him a little bit of credit.
Johnny has contributed greatly to the
Mhm,
success of that series.
Mhm.
But I love it because that's why. Because they bring up these old songs
Oh, yeah.
that you may not have heard for 30 years or 40
Mhm.
years, and you say, "Oh yeah, that was a good one." I remember.
Yeah.
I remember what I was doing when I listened to that in my car.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
yeah, it's good. It's good to be able to do that. It's good to hear that again
Mhm,
and to realize, yeah, that was still some pretty good stuff.
mhm. Well, and it's she does such a. And I hate that I can't always listen live whenever they're doing it because chat is just wonderful during all of that. And her and Johnny are very interactive with everybody. So I hate it that I miss so much of that anymore. But you know what? 'Tis his life. Thank God for replays.
That's for sure.
Mhm.
I am so happy for replays these days.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a while since.
There's so many people and different podcasts that
Mhm.
I just don't have enough time to
Mm-mm.
catch them all. There
You
are
sure don't.
there are a few that I absolutely insist
Mhm.
on catching,
Mhm.
but can't catch them all.
No. Yeah, and that's like on Monday nights. And
Mm-hmm.
I know KGRA, they're picking up shows as they go
Mhm.
along because they drop some of them. And what's really aggravating with that, and it has nothing to do with KGRA, when you pick up a show
Mhm.
that's been going on, it has a huge following.
Yes.
You can bring it on to KGRA, but the chat and YouTube, there's nothing. Because they're following are the people that are following that YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
like James Bishop. I mean, he
Yes.
goes on for hours, and
His thing is-
KGRA gets like 2 hours of it.
His base is on Twitter or
TikTok.
TikTok. Yes. Yeah.
Which I don't. That's something I don't have. I don't have TikTok.
I've never gotten into that either. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I guess what bits of TikTok I get, I think I just, oh my God, it's just so time. I'm sure there are really good things there, but find them. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Marco's making a comment in there. It's these people have been on air for years, and just because KGRA picks them up,
Mhm.
KGRA YouTube is live all the time whenever they can do it.
Mhm.
and it gives them more exposure.
Yes.
But they've already got their fan base, and their fan base isn't going to click over to KGRA just because
They're
that's
not
where they
going
are.
to stay with whatever delivery method
Right.
they're
They're going to
accustomed.
stay where they're at.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's different. It's, it'd be like the same here. What would we do here, Charles? Oh my God.
What would we do here?
Yeah, our KGRA crews here.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, I keep KGRA up running in the background, and it is getting a live feed now. But the room is empty. They're all over here. They want audio, video is the way to go. I tell you this.
Yeah.
People want to see you. They don't just want to hear you.
Lord, I don't know why they want to look at us.
How long did I or we do just voice over KGRA? Probably nearly a year before we ever got onto this platform.
On Mixler? Yeah.
So,
and I was fine with just doing Mixler, and then we got video. So now I have to behave here. I have to be dressed. I can't, here we got video. I have to be dressed.
oh my!
I'm
gonna have to dig out some of that old tape and run it again with my imagination.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Oh God! Wait a minute. That's for John if he ever shows up to see this. Sweet Niece. That's his name for me since I took over the mic in Pine Bush in 2017 with my short.
What's happened to John? Where'd he go?
I think he's really busy.
No, I think he doesn't love us anymore.
Well, that could be true too, but well,
that's Ron's fault. We'll blame it on Ron.
He will put out the bat signal. John, come back. We're sorry.
Whatever Ron did, we apologize for. Come back.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got this much left.
People come and go. And some at least some of them, when they go, we miss them. Oh my God!
See, I miss Rockstar. He's not in here, and then
it's summer.
Some of Ron's buddies aren't in here, so I don't know.
People are busy. I don't know. Does it show us? It shows we have a few people watching, but that's okay because
we have our tribe. That's all. YouTube. That's all I care about.
This is on YouTube. It's forever.
Oh God, that's scary.
Please don't mean to scare you.
That's a little scary.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what my favorite word is anyways, and I kind of say it a lot, so it doesn't matter. Bobby, I still have my wrench. There you go. So Ufi said, Maria Charles, if you invite random local musicians to play on your porch, this show could become a paywall. I don't want anybody here.
that would
why I built where I'm at.
Create a problem, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting them over the barbed wire fences and past the minefield is always going to be a problem.
Especially if I haven't fed the alligators yet, too. So. I would love to have a pterodactyl and a Godzilla.
Oh my God! You know what?
Wouldn't that be awesome? What?
Really? Seriously? There used to be a pizza shop in the neighborhood, the next city over, that had these fiberglass. They had a Tyrannosaurus, a Brontosaur, and a pterodactyl in fiberglass, and I think they closed. I wonder whatever happened to those.
I don't know. They probably sold them.
Probably.
I'd have bought them.
But they're out there somewhere.
I'd have bought them.
They were really nice.
Oh, I bet.
Just which I'll have to drive by there next week. See if there's
If they're still there, let me know.
Could still be. I'll send you pictures.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to go back to the dead section of the local newspaper to get some pictures, I will get some pictures.
See, and I just think it would be awesome to have a life-size Godzilla back here behind my house that did the fire and smoke and the voice, the roar. It'd be awesome. And you know what? I don't have to worry about an HOA saying anything about it.
You need to be very careful that you don't offend anybody with the Godzilla thing, because they'll sneak up in the middle of the night and blow up Godzilla.
Not at my house, they won't. Not here.
See there? They put the damn monument in the wrong place.
They did. Need to put it back here behind my house. It'll all be all right.
It would be safe. It would be safe as safe can be.
That's right. It'll be safe here like the gold is in Fort Knox. So we're good.
Oh, God.
So Bobby's bitching in chat.
Yes, yeah. Well, I guess we will address that. I did lose my wrench over on KGRA. I have no idea why. I don't think I did anything, but
it's probably a mistake.
I probably did something, and that's okay.
I don't know. Let's blame Ron.
It wasn't an honor that I sought out greatly anyway. So
it was just something that happened.
Yeah.
And Oofy wants to know how much room for the model. I have 70 acres, Oofy. I can fit it in anywhere it needs to go. I can put it in behind the trees. I can put it out in the pasture.
How big was the actual Godzilla? I think like 300 feet.
In the movies, it was about that tall. The real one.
I mean, to scale, when it's stepping on 5-story buildings, it's probably at least 300 feet tall.
Oh, he went down. Didn't he go down? Tokyo's got a lot of high rises, so I'm sure he was over those.
He was definitely head and shoulders over those. So that's interesting.
That would be great. I need to win the lottery. If I won the lottery, that would be built behind my house. I'm just saying.
It really wouldn't have to be. It's kind of like that ark in Tennessee. It doesn't have to be actual size, just big enough to impress people.
It would be great if I could get in it and drive it. That would be even better.
Yes, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Man, they might try to throw me out of Edmonson County if I did that.
Yeah. Either that or they hang a sign on it and they'll put a well, that would probably ruin your plans too. They put like a 4-lane highway in to make sure that everybody could get there to see it.
Pull up what Marco said about if I won the lottery.
Where?
It's down there towards the bottom.
Oh. Marco, triple wide, Marco. There you
go. He knows I have goals.
Oh my, yes.
I got goals. His trailer trash white girls got goals. Just say it. Yeah. That's exactly right, Kings. A private trailer park.
No questions asked.
That's right. Don't care. Just, I don't even need your ID.
Mm.
Rent is
Maybe
cash 3 months ahead, and in 2 months you're out.
one of these days. One of these days, it will hit the big time. You know, I'm going to have a hell of a time hitting the lottery.
I got to play it first.
I don't buy it. Yeah, that's me too. That's me too. You know,
I don't buy the tickets.
You know,
I've gotten to the point, it's like I go to work and I come home, and if I have to stop
on the way,
it just makes, I'm just madder than hell. I just don't.
Well, you know, wait till gas prices come back down.
Well, okay, so funny thing, it had come down to $4 a gallon, $4.05 Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon, after I came back from my son's house, it was back up to $4.30.
Okay.
It was the same price this morning. On the way home, it was $4.15, and I'm like, I don't care. This $4 shit's driving me crazy.
Yes.
It needs to go back down to 2 or 1, like it used to be.
They actually have a term for that. I know this is kind of off kilter.
I have a term for it. You want to hear it?
When the price of oil goes up, the price of gas goes boom right with it. Okay, same day. When the price of oil goes down, which it is now, I last time saw it was like $70 a gallon, which is a year ago.
That's bullshit.
That price of gas goes just a little bit.
I'm going to tell you something. I can remember when Obama was president and gas was, at the highest, it was 380 something, 389.
Okay.
Oil was 80, almost $90 a barrel then.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So don't give me this crap. There's another game that's being played that we don't know about. And I know a lot of it has to do with.
A lot of it is politics, dear. I really think it's just.
It's not so much politics as it is the stock market. And it's a certain group that wants to flip out over, and they want to flip out. But never, I mean, anyways, I'm going to shut up. My term for all this that's going on is called bullshit.
Yes.
It's the only term I've got.
We're suffering from a plethora of bullshit these days.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to matter where you look. You're going to get it. You're either
Marco, I didn't sell you 10 acres, honey. I told you was going to get 2. Yeah. Yeah. There ain't nothing we can do about that, and talking about it's not going to do anything. Just the term for all of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marco's saying I sold him 10 acres. I sold you 2. Just because they both start with the letter T.
We'll tell him. We'll tell him it was 10.
Yeah.
We won't tell him. We won't tell him 10 what. You know?
Yeah.
Square meters, hectares, whatever.
10 trees, whatever.
Well, 10 is something.
All right, Charles. It's almost empty.
Well, I think empty is about where we are today. I really hope everybody watches that YouTube, because one of those the YouTube documentary on the Guidestones is very, very well done, and if I remember correctly, when I played it, it only had like 1,000 views. So I kind of dug it out of nowhere. So let's make sure it gets plenty of hits, and because it's really, really good information. And it actually
there's several documentaries on Netflix.
Good detective work.
There's a lot of stuff on Netflix, Discovery, Travel Channel.
Well, I watched one, and I'd forgotten about this. With I'm trying to remember the name now. I can't remember the name. Of course, I can't remember the name. It was back in 2012. Metzler, Brad Metzler, the author that did all the different mystery series, did one on the Guidestones too. And it was in February of 2012, and they were all about, it was going to be the apocalypse at the Mayan, at the end of the Mayan calendar. Remember that one. Remember the apocalypse that was supposed to hit in December of 2012. That's what this one is about. I just put into the chat. That was kind of fun to watch. Didn't have a lot of good information, but it was fun to hear everybody talking about this will be the only thing that'll save us from the Mayan apocalypse. It was funny.
It was crazy because people bought into this.
Oh my
just
God.
like they bought into that what was it, when the year 2000 and all the computers and the
millennial
world
fever
coming in and everybody's going to lose all their shit. And I was like, oh my gosh, you people, this is crazy. It's a simple fix. But the media just had people just tore up. And I have not yet understood how all of these networks have not been sued and shut down for inciting riots, because that's all they do.
It would appear.
That's all they do.
And it's free speech, dear.
That's fine until they incite a riot.
But you're not allowed to shout fire in a crowded theater.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
But they can just, anyway, doesn't matter. Let's not go there. I need to do my chi. Breathe in, breathe out. Today has been an absolutely horrible day. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to top it off with some bourbon, and then I'm going to be done with today.
Sometimes that's the best we can do, dear.
This is
Crawl
true.
in bed and pull the covers over our head.
Yeah. Then you can't sleep because it's too dark. But anyway.
or now too hot. But
yeah, this is true.
That's okay. I've been having many of those nights lately.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm already to the age where it's like the fan is blowing straight on me. The air conditioner's at 65. No covers. Screw that stuff. Nobody touch me. It's too hot.
Well, to get that, I have right by my bed, I have a remote control for the air conditioner and a remote control for the fan. I'm good.
It's all about that.
I'm ready for anything.
Because it's during the wintertime, the heat in my house is at 63 or 65, and it's not going up any further than that.
I'm with you on that. I don't like a hot house.
But I also don't like a high electricity bill. So during the summertime, I kind of like bring that up just a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Well, thank you, Ufi. Thank you, Mark, Andy, Ron, Bobby.
We've made it an hour and a half.
We did. And I'm not drunk yet, so we didn't do something right.
You're gonna have to get a bigger straw.
Get a bigger glass. Genghis, V. Didn't Kathy show up in here for just a little bit too? Bless her heart. She hung out with us.
Kathy, I didn't know if she did.
I'm going through maybe she didn't. Maybe it was just my imagination.
Well, somebody, I think
She
Dad-
caught some shit last night too. So,
yes.
mhm.
Well, he was not deserving, I think. Yeah. But hey,
You know, and that's another thing. It's like the rant that Stephen was on last night,
mhm, yeah.
and the comments that were being
No,
made, they were not
one of the-
derogatory. They weren't cussing.
one of the commenters said they were pissed off because the question was to Stephen. I'm sorry, this is videotaped. It was not live.
People don't know that. It's not advertised
Yes.
as a rebroadcast. So people don't know that. So that, I mean, and that's the thing.
It was a new broadcast, but it wasn't live.
People
was
don't know.
before-
It does not say that anywhere.
No, I know.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's like the person wasn't cussing. The person wasn't doing a personal attack on somebody. They weren't. So it's like those are things you've just got to let go. You can tell when it's a bot and you can block a bot.
Absolutely.
But this person was not. So, and didn't really say anything wrong. It might have just not been
Quite.
what somebody else's opinion might have been.
Yeah. Well, we put up with a lot of opinions here. Don't care.
We got a lot of assholes here. Just saying.
Okay.
I love every one of them.
Been there, done that plenty of times. You know.
Yeah, I love everyone. Yes, Marco, it is.
Thank you, Yuki. It is so good to know that our fans appreciate the live appeal. and again, happy birthday, dear.
Thank you very much.
I hope the rest of your day is pleasant in your evening. And gee, that's all I can say.
Just send me more alcohol. That's all I'm saying.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. We have fun.
Okay.
We have
So-
lots of fun.
Anyway, good night, folks. It has been an interesting conversation today, and I
It's
think
been
that's
something.
great to have a cabin conversation, to trade ideas and try to make the world just a little bit brighter. So, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you back next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks.